How about questions, guys?
Coach, you got to play a lot of kids tonight. That's got to be exciting for you, first game. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's good for us. I think having a hard-fought win is good for you in the opener. I thought Presbyterian's kids played great. I thought they came in with a good plan. Certainly gave our offense problems and gave the defense problems on about the first play of the game in the long run. And then our defense settled down, and I thought, played great. And offensively, we sputtered back and forth. Can't turn the ball over like we did down the red zone. Killing the clock. And of course, we haven't worked a lot on quarterback center exchanges underneath center, and so it's probably our fault more than anything. And then Dominic was just trying to get in the end zone, and he wouldn't go down. And anytime you do that, you got to be careful and protect the ball. So that's a good learning experience for him. But I did think that we played a lot of young kids tonight, so that was good. A lot of not only young kids, but we had some kids that have been around for a while that played a little bit more tonight. So all in all, I thought it was a good football game. I thought, again, Presbyterian's kids played their hearts out tonight. I thought they really did a great job defensively. I thought our special teams, for the most part, were pretty good. And we had a lot of young guys on those special teams. We had a lot of rookies out there covering kicks, but I think their speed and athleticism was pretty obvious. And so I'm excited about our kicking game. I'm disappointed we missed a short chip shot. That's got to be money for us. We can't do that. When I asked, Chad to kick long field goals, we know that it's a little bit of rolling the dice, but when we got to chip shots, we've got to hit those because down the road, with the teams we're going to play, we've got to have that. And then I thought Mate punted pretty good tonight. I thought his pooch punts were fantastic, and I thought we'd had the one down on the 1 yard line, but they didn't ask my opinion. And then I thought, he had one bad punt that, kind of looked like a negative dihedral or something going over to their sideline. So, I think special teams are some bright things. I thought defensively a lot of bright things, although, I think we'll be challenged more down the road. And then, I thought their defense had a good scheme for our offense, and it took us a while to figure them out.
You seemed like Tanner made some nice throws, and you looked like you had a lot more success pass blocking than you did for the run blocking.
Yeah, I think their whole plan, Michael, was to stop the run. And they actually, when we went motion, they actually had 9 people down in the box, so that gave us a chance to hit the big throws. And the thing that's most disappointing, though, is when we hit the big throws, we didn't capitalize on all those red zone opportunities. And one of the things that we're going to be disappointed in is we had some missed assignments. I think that things that we've been doing pretty good for the last week, and then I don't know whether it's just first game jitters or whatever, but we made a few mistakes. And but overall, I thought Presbyterian's kids played really, really hard, and we got challenged pretty good, and a lot of our guys got to play, and it was just a good night. Good first game for us anyway. We're gonna have a lot to go back and teach off of.
I saw Michael Caminero trying to go. This was ACC championship game. He goes, right?
Yep, he would. We really didn't know Dan. I mean, really, I think he could have gone tonight. He talked to me during the week about his last time he had a hamstring, and he felt really, really bad and didn't feel like he could go, and almost overnight felt great. And I think he could have probably played football tonight, but there was, not taking the chance of him going out and really pulling for real and missing 3 or 4 weeks was not in the cards for us tonight.
James' shoulder was the same one that he broke the collarbone last year?
I don't know. Somebody else asked that, and I'm not sure. I don't know if it is or not. But I saw him at the dinner last night, and he was eating fine, so it can't be hurt that bad.
Do you have any idea when he'll be back there?
I don't. Most of those, Dan, if there's not a break, if he hadn't broken anything, and if it's not any kind of a tear in the labrum or whatever to his shoulder, it's really just some kids come back quicker than others, so you really don't know. I thought it was nice to see Jonathan Williams step up tonight. Yeah, and so that's what has to happen when somebody goes down. Somebody else has to step up. And I thought Orville and Johnny did some nice things tonight at slot. So it was really, to be honest, it was really good to kind of keep camp over there drinking Gatorade and let those other 2 kids get some work.
Coach, how pleased were you tonight with your defense, especially with all the takeaways?
I told the defense in the locker room I don't think they could have played any better other than the one long run to start the game. We overran all that stuff, and they got back behind us and, foot race to the goal line. We almost held them out, but other than that, from that point forward, they played like I hoped they would. That's got to be, for us to be a good football team, that's got to be the strength of our football team on defense. And, offensively, really, other than Booby trying to get an extra yard and get it into the end zone and let the ball come out, and this is his first experience at running back, and then Tanner not getting the exchange, we took pretty good care of the football. Almost threw a pick coming out on that little wheel route. Tanner tried to throw it back shoulder, and guy got his hand on it to kind of caught us off guard because they switched coverages from what we've been seeing. But all in all, we took pretty good care of the football for what we're doing. For as much read option stuff as we're doing, took pretty good care of the football. This has been a great learning experience for us. We really needed to play somebody that, for real, that was really giving us stuff that we had to adjust to during the game. And that's going to be the thing we're going to have to do a good job going forward. Is each game we play, we're going to have to be able to make adjustments while we're going.
10 true freshmen tonight, are those that you expect to play 10, and are those the 10 you expected to play?
I thought 8 to 10. Rob, I really, to be honest with you, didn't pay a lot of attention to who the coaches were putting in. We talked about it during the week in practice, and it looked like at one time we would play 8 to 10, and I just told the guys not to put anybody on the field that you feel like we're going to end up wasting a year of eligibility. So if they were on the field tonight, we actually feel like they're guys that will play more as the season goes on, and hopefully get a lot of offensive and defensive snaps, not just special team reps.
Should we read anything into the lack of play time of Big Baby and also DeAndre?
I think, for us, honestly, Michael, I think we have 4 running backs that can play. I think, all 4 of those guys can play for us and do some good things for us. Probably just more the roll of the dice than anything else. Sometimes we put guys out for a series, and the series lasts 6 plays, and then you put them out for a series, and it goes through 3 and out. So that's kind of the way it goes. But I wouldn't read anything into that. And then the one part of the defense that a lot of times we don't get as many reps. Sometimes we kind of go to sleep with those starters on the defensive line and get to give them too many reps. I don't know what Ray would think if he didn't give the backups enough reps. But I think we feel good about all those guys, Big Baby included. So, I didn't really count his reps. I didn't see how many times he got out there.
Which gives you more trepidation, playing true freshmen on special teams or on offensive defense?
Well, I think offensively you worry more because the mistakes can be, more glaring. Sometimes on a kickoff cover or punt block situation, you can kind of be out of position and it doesn't hurt you too bad. But tonight, starting Corey Helms at center, Josh Harris played a lot at guard. Johnny Armstrong, of course, played a lot at slot. It gets your attention as a coach, but they're good enough to do it. That's the cool thing. We're not just throwing them out there because they are all we've got. We got a lot of competition at all those positions, so they're playing because they deserve to play.
Have you ever had an experience in a game like with tonight's power outage, and what do you think had changed for you guys following that?
Well, I honestly, I thought, Ben, that was going to hurt us because we're trying to figure them out on defense. Our offense was trying to figure them out, and you need to keep going. You got to keep seeing coverages and fronts and that kind of stuff, and then the lull, you kind of lose that a little bit. But you just got to you got to adjust. It's a little bit like when we were down at Ole Miss and they had all those lightning delays and stuff. You just almost have to act like it's no big deal so the players don't think it's a big deal. They probably like getting a little rest, getting a little Gatorade, that kind of stuff.
I know offensive line is something hard to evaluate till you look at everything, look at the film and all. What was your general impressions of your offensive line?
You know, I thought, Dan, what we got is we really got a team that was committed to stopping the run game, which we may get a lot. You know, we may get a lot in the future. I think we're going to feel like our offensive line played okay. The thing I was most impressed about is the thing we tried to get away from was our pass protection. You know, we didn't want to spend a lot of time protecting the passer. But they were playing their defensive linemen at the line of scrimmage to stop the run, and we weren't getting a lot of up the field stuff, so they basically made us throw the football. So I think we're going to be pretty pleased with our protection. We turned a couple run-throughs loose that would have really been good plays for us if we'd have picked up a linebacker on the run-throughs a couple of times. But I think one of the things, we had a couple of line schemes going in that turned out not to be as productive as we thought they were going to be. And we changed those during the game. And I think that helped us a little bit. But I think when you're trying to play about 10 guys, which we are, it's not as easy to make those adjustments as it will be as we go further. You know, down the road, our kids are going to start figuring this stuff out a little bit. And I think overall, I think we're going to feel the offensive line did a workmanlike job, but not as good as we can be.
You go 3 and out in your first series, first play they hit you for 66 yards. What was your thinking?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought going into the game the defense was going to be the strength. And so when they give up that first touchdown, I thought, oh, this could really be a long night. You know, I could see us being in a 2-minute drill all the time on offense. But, of course, they settled down. And you just can't panic. You know, in the first game, that's what happens in first games. You know, your kids haven't played in a long, long time. And, you know, in practice, you say, okay, well, you go against each other in practice. But really, the defense gets to know the offense, and the offense gets to know the defense. And you don't really know whether you've got the right stuff going until you get out and do it live. So it got my attention early, but I felt like our kids would settle down. And, you know, like I said, I think, you know, part of our plan this year is going to be to control the clock. You know, one of the things we haven't done a good job of for our defense the past 2 or 3 years is we keep putting those guys back out on the field. And I think when our defensive kids are fresh, we got a chance to play pretty good defense. So, you know, on one hand, you'd like to be a little more wide open and score some more points. But on the other hand, it's nice when those defenders get a little bit of a break and that clock keeps spinning.
Anything else, Coach? Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
Congratulations.